I don't know about you, but when I work with sheet goods in my shop, I'm always looking for an easier way to get these cross-cut and ripped down to more manageable sizes. And that's what track saws are all about. Track saws have really come a long way in the marketplace. They provide good cut quality, they give you portability, and they make life easier when it comes to bucking down sheets like this. So we're going to have a look at cutting this sheet right here. This is an MDF core, white oak veneered piece of sheet goods I need for a cabinet. So here's how track saws work. I've got a track, hence the name, and on the edge of that track, the white piece has already been cut. It shows me right where the saw blade is going to travel. It's a line of cut indicator. I've got marks on my sheet that show me where I want the cut to happen. So all I need to do is put the cut edge right onto those marks. Now, what's pretty cool is the track itself is sticky enough on the bottom that it stays in place. So I don't have to reach under here with a couple of clamps to hold it there. Then my circ saw is going to ride on the track in order to make the cut. So I'm going to do just a little bit of personal protection here to get ready for this, and I'll show you what the cut looks like. Now let's have a look at how the track saw and I did. So the cut quality is good. Remember that that circ saw blade is cutting up through the veneer like that. So thanks to some anti-chip devices we've got on both the saw and the track, we've got a good crisp cut there. Now, one thing that I talked about is once the sheet goods are in my shop, I want to cut them up. What about if I just had this in my vehicle and a battery operated circ saw or an extension cord on this one, and when I'm picking my material up with a pair of sawhorses on hand, I could get the sheet goods down to a smaller size to make them more manageable to get into my vehicle. So we've covered a simple cross cut here. I also want to show you how you can do a 45-degree cut, and in addition to sheet goods, how track saws like this apply to solid wood panels. Now I mentioned cutting angles in your sheet goods, and we can talk about angles in different planes. One would be, what if you just plain needed to cut a sheet at an angle this way? Impossible to set up that kind of a cut on a table saw no matter what, but it's one of the things the track saw brings to the table for you is we can put that track at any angle you need on your sheet goods. Now, as I turn this to a more and more steep angle, I run out of track, and that's where extensions come into play. So with a track extension, it'll spline into the first piece, so we can cut a longer angle across our sheet, or of course, if we were ripping down the length of the sheet, we'd add this so we could cut a full 8-footer. Now, the angle I'm really talking about is, what if you want to put pieces together at a miter, like case pieces? Pretty difficult, even with a table saw in your shop, to cut miters on big, long pieces like this. Let me show you how a track saw works for that. Once again, I've got layout lines on my white oak plywood. I hit the layout lines with the track and then suit up. I've already got my circ saw at 45 degrees, so the saw is ready to make the cut. I just got to get ready. It's a great example of a case where it's just plain easier to bring the tool to the work instead of the work to the tool. Got another cut I want to show you, and that's how track saws can pay off when you're working on big panels of solid wood. A little bit different application here. I've got a big cedar panel I glued up. It's actually the top of a picnic table. And I need a way to get the end squared. So first I put a line on there with the framing square to give me a square line to follow, lay the track on, and use it to finish that picnic table top off. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the track saw that makes your woodworking life easier, whether you're working with big sheet goods or working with solid wood panels like this. Versatile tool to have. It's something that the more you've got it, the more you use it, the more ways you're going to think of to use it. So very versatile addition to a woodworking shop.